IT project manager interview questions.
Describe yourself in a few words.
The interviewer is only really interested in hearing what might be relevant to the job. Restrict yourself to a few words about your qualifications, a few remarks about previous jobs, and a comment about your plans for the future.
Describe a milestone.
A milestone is a stage in the project where a significant objective has been achieved. They are a measure of progress. Here you should give an example or two of stressful work situations you have encountered in the past. Describe why they were stressful and how you overcame them. You could also include a word about how you personally deal with stress.
What was your greatest success as a project manager?
Describe the project or aspect of a project that you consider was the most successful and explain your reasons. If you can tie this back to examples of activities/requirements given in the job description, then that could score bonus points.
What was your biggest failure as a project manager?
Do not be afraid to mention a failure. You should, however, give your answer a positive spin. Describe the cause of the failure, but stress what you learned from it and how it has made you a better manager.
What do you think are your greatest strengths?
Describe what you believe are your key strengths, example, good motivator, good problem solver, strong under pressure, etc., and give examples of how you used these strengths in previous projects.
What are your weaknesses?
No one is perfect. State where you think your weaknesses might lay, but focus on what steps you are taking to overcome them.
Why should we hire you?
Make sure that you align your answer to the company and the job and focus on the benefits you can bring. Answers could include statements like I have the skills and abilities to get the job done, I am an excellent team leader and team player, and I will always go the extra mile.
What is the concept of project management?
Project management gives us a clear picture of the targets that to be achieved in the given project, how these targets can be met and how long will it take to complete the project and meet the objectives.
What are the qualities of a good project manager?
Some of the qualities of the excellent manager are flexible. Project manager has to be flexible so that in a breakdown he or she can rapidly adjust and start executing the project from a new direction to meet the deadline. Communication. The success of any project rely on the discussion. Project manager should be able to do effective communication with his team regarding vision, issues, performance, goals, etc. Excellent negotiation skills. Project manager has to do negotiations with the vendors, contractor, senior stakeholders. Decision-making skills. Project manager has to make some decisions for a successful project. Team management. Project manager has to manage, motivate, and inspire the teams who are working on a particular project.
What are the 10 knowledge areas of project management?
The 10 knowledge management areas are project integration management, project scope management, project time management, project cost management, project quality management, project human resource management, project communications management, project risk management, project procurement management, project stakeholder management.
How do you communicate bad news in your team?
First thing, I do not immediately tell anything to anyone. I take time to understand why the decision has been made and who is responsible for this decision, and then I call for the group meeting or call the person and share the bad news. I always make sure that there is a two-way communication while sharing the news.
How do you manage team performance?
The actions I take to manage my team performance are set targets it is easy for my team to focus on because they know their aim in the project. Conduct reviews. I conduct reviews every week rather than at the end of the project. Provide feedback. I check the team member's performance and give them their feedback every week and also take their input so that I can support him or her. Track performance. I create specific measures according to which I check the performance of the project. Celebrate project success. I make sure that we celebrate after each of the milestones of the projector when the team gets appreciation from the client. Reward team. I reward the team on a monthly basis.
How do you motivate team members?
Teams play an essential part of any organization. Teams partners the company to get important work done. Motivated team, when combines with the energy, skills, and knowledge, can accomplish any tasks with ease and grace. Groups can be motivated in some of the following ways. Creating a pleasant environment for team members. Giving opportunities to the team members to learn new skills. Encouraging the members by valuing their suggestions. Making sure that each of the team members is happy and working with a positive attitude. They are encouraging the team members to try again if they have made a mistake.
How do you set goals for your team? And how do you track these goals?
I set the goals of the team in the following steps. I create a specific, measurable result. I create specific and measurable goals with a deadline and small goals which is easily achievable. So that the team members remain on track. For example, 50% project will complete in 1.5 months, rather more than half project will complete in around 2 months. Goals of each team member must align with the project goals. I then ask my team member to create an action plan, establishing the milestones, so that work is done before the deadline of the purpose given. I will track each member process. We'll take the following on regular intervals and then reward at the end.
How do you ensure that your project is always on track?
I check whether my project is on track or not. By taking the regular reviews from the team member. By checking on a regular basis if there is any breakdown likely to come. By conducting a meeting to share the status of the project and also to check whether the team members are following their milestones or not. At last, support them entirely if they need my support at any point in time. This is a very critical question in project manager interview questions.
How do you start a project plan?
First, I will study the complete project by myself and then will share the objective and the end result of the project with the team member. Second, I will sit with my team and research on the project so that we can understand how we can reach the end result of the project. The third will make a list of the resources that are required for the project. At last, I will plan the actions with my team and allocate the goal to each and everyone so that they can create their milestones. Then they will start working on the project.
What are the different kinds of project management tools you worked with?
The project management tools on which I have worked on are Kanban, Agile, Microsoft Project, and Trello. Note, in this question, we have mentioned the standard project management tools that most of the company uses. Share the name of the tools you know.
What are the functions of project management tool?
The essential functions of the project management tool are project planning and scheduling, team collaboration, time tracking, reporting, project budgeting, billing and quotes.
What is work breakdown structure, and how does it affect the work estimates of tasks/activities?
WBD is the process of decomposition of a project into deliverable-oriented components. This helps the project manager to oversee the project more effectively.
What is the difference between project, program, and portfolio?
A project is a temporary entity which has a start and end date, and as a result, an output is produced. A program is a group of the related projects, subprograms, and the program activities which are managed in an integrated way to get the benefits that not available from leading them on an individual basis. A portfolio is a group of project, programs, subportfolios, and operations to achieve strategic objectives.
Explain on the project management life cycle process.
Project management life cycle process includes initiating the project, planning the project, executing the project, monitoring as well as controlling the operation of the project, the closing of the project. This is the favorite interviewer question in project manager interview questions.
How will prioritize tasks in your projects?
I will prioritize my tasks in the following steps. I will list down the jobs given to us and the responsibilities. The second will identify the urgent and important tasks. The third will assess the value of each of the function given. The fourth will arrange the functions in the order of the efforts required. Fifth, while scheduling will give buffer time as the client may demand some additions or changes.
What is RAID in project management?
RAID in project management stands for R. Risk, A. Assumptions, A. Issue, D. Dependencies.
What are the tools for process improvement?
Some of the tools listed below that are used in the industry for the process improvement. Hypothesis testing. value stream mapping, flowcharting, cause and effect analysis, comparing and baselining a process.
How to deal with underperforming team members?
I will follow the three-step approach. Identify, I will find out what my team member is dealing with right now. Coach, I will coach him on what he is dealing with. If a personal problem, then I will create something new for him and make him relax. However, if it is related to performance, then we'll develop him by giving him training. Support, I will continue to support him for a period of time until his performance is improved. This is one of the essential questions in project manager interview questions.
Explain the difference between risk and issues.
A risk is future-focused, whereas an issue is present-focused. Risk can be negative or positive, whereas an issue is always negative. The response for a risk will be based entirely on the risk response planning, whereas the response for an issue will be like issue workaround.
What is the difference between risk impact and risk probability?
Risk impact, the impact of cost when the risk occurs. Risk probability, it is a chance that risk will occur.
What is the triple constraint triangle in project management?
A triple constraint triangle is the model of the constraints of the project. A triple constraint triangle has three components: time, scope, and cost. One crucial factor, quality, is at the center of the triangle. Cost projects should be delivered within the value that was initially decided. Time projects should be delivered on or before time. Scope projects should meet the extent that was agreed, no more, no less. Quality projects should meet the customer's quality requirements. The duty of the project manager is to manage these constraints throughout the project.
What are the essential qualities of a project manager?
Good leadership skills and the ability to empower and motivate all the members of the team. A project manager should also be knowledgeable in his/her field, a good problem solver, and calm under pressure.
Give your definition of a project.
A project is a task, or group of tasks, outside the routine that must be carried out in order to achieve a specific objective. It could be something like designing a new software system or implementing new protocols.
Can you describe a project charter?
A project charter details the project requirements and desired outcomes. It must be authorized before the project can be started.
What do you understand by project lifecycle?
Project lifecycle describes the separate phases of a project. These are: initiation, the reason for the project and its purpose; planning, defining team skills, required actions, and timelines; development, build team, establish budgets, etc. Implementation, taking the steps necessary to complete the project and presenting it to the client for approval; closure, final delivery to the client and a review of the project to evaluate its success and any lessons learned.
Have you ever heard of Parkinson's law?
Yes. It states that work expands so as fill the time available for its completion.
What do you consider to be the most difficult aspect of project management?
Use your own experience. But you could identify motivating staff when circumstances are difficult, or dealing with clients who have totally unrealistic expectations.
What projects have you handled before?
Describe previous projects on which you have been engaged and be prepared to provide evidence of your participation. Emphasize your successes and how they benefited your employer.
How would those you have worked with previously describe you?
Be positive. Say that they would describe you as knowledgeable, dedicated, a good team member, and other similar attributes.
What is meant by quality standards in software projects?
Companies and the software they use and develop vary widely, so standards are necessary as a guide to quality software as classified on the ISO scale according to aspects such as reliability and functionality. Companies are graded on the CMM scale, which basically describes their level of software organization and processes.
Explain in simple terms what is meant by a CMM Level 1 company.
CMM stands for Capability Maturity Model. It is a way to develop and refine a company's processes. There are 5 levels. Level 1 is the lowest. It describes companies where processes are on an ad hoc basis, are not defined, and depend on individual efforts to succeed.
What is a stakeholder?
A stakeholder is an organization, entity, or individual that has an interest in or is affected by the project. You should elaborate your answer by giving examples.
How would you motivate your team?
This is intended to examine your management style. Describe your motivation techniques and give examples of where they have been effective.
How would you deal with a team member who is not performing?
Here you are being asked about your management and motivational methods. You will need to describe how you would establish why the team member is not performing well and what remedial action you would take. Draw on previous experience if you have encountered the problem before.
What project management software systems do you use?
Simply mention the software you most commonly employ, but also refer to other systems to demonstrate your knowledge and that you are abreast of the latest developments.
How would you close a project?
Some project many fail to finish projects or close them properly. Describe the end stages of a project that you have completed, including details of evaluation and feedback from stakeholders.
How would you close a project?
Some project many fail to finish projects or close them properly. Describe the end stages of a project that you have completed, including details of evaluation and feedback from stakeholders.
As a leader, do you think it is better to be feared or loved?
This is always a difficult question. The best answer is to say that you would prefer to be respected.
How would you resolve a situation if two key stakeholders hold diametrically opposed views?
Explain how you would achieve consensus while keeping the project on track.
What do you think are the main causes of project failure?
Projects fail for many reasons, including unrealistic expectations. The project addressed the wrong business requirements. Poor governance. Poor implementation. Loss of focus on project benefits.
Briefly, describe EVM.
EVM stands for Earned Value Management and is a technique for measuring the performance and progress of a project.
What is the difference between effort variance and schedule variance?
Effort variance is the difference between planned effort and actual effort expended, while schedule variance refers to the difference between planned milestone dates and the dates they are actually achieved.
What are the techniques for doing activity time estimates?
The techniques are parametric estimates, three-point estimates, and analogous estimates. These are some of the popular questions that are asked in project management interviews. Always be prepared to answer all types of questions: technical skills, interpersonal, leadership, or methodology. If you are someone who has recently started your career in project management, you can always get certified to understand the industry-related terminology, skills, and methodologies.